Hi, everyone, and welcome to yet another creative aging program here at the Rawlings Library. Sorry, I'm not paying attention for just 1 second. My speaker's on over there, and it would have given us an echo. I'm Sharon. I'm the Makerspace librarian here at the Rawlings Library, and today we have another kit presented to us by Collective Pueblo. Today we're doing slow stitching, which is great. It's a nice meditative practice to do on the day that's so very, very cold. It's freezing, guys. Don't go outside. Um, without any further ado, I will go ahead and get that video started for you. And when we're done with the video, I'll show you my completely finished project. All right? Hold on 1 second while I get that taken care of. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today for another creative aging program featuring kits from our friends at Collective Pueblo. Today we're going to be doing a slow stitch program, which basically means that you're going to be able to use your creativity with the supplies that are provided, and you get to kind of make whatever you'd like. So to get started, I'm just going to open the kit up here, and let's see what's inside. So we've got a bunch of different pieces of felt and fabric and some lace and different things. And everybody has a little tiny kind of motif guy. I have this very small little bee, which is pretty cute. And then we have a piece of just kind of brown muslin. Here's some more fabric that's stuck to it. A bunch of different colors of pearl floss to do some embroidery with, and a hoop. And I hope that you guys all remembered my directive from last time to save your needle that you got in your kit last time, because we'll need it for this. It was really nice of Melissa to provide us one, so let's go ahead and use that one. In order to get, if you've not done this before, I guess, in order to get your embroidery hoop loosened, you just loosen the screw here, and that allows this to move. And then you just tighten it back up, same way. And once you get that to the tightness spot, it'll go. But the idea is that these two hoops fit inside each other. So I just tightened that maybe a little too much in there. So they'll fit inside each other, but they'll also hold your fabric nice and taut for you. So that what we're going to do that is put it over the hoop that doesn't have the metal pieces, and then take the hoop that does have the metal pieces and stretch it really hard. Maybe if you're like me, you've done too much already. And you need to loosen it up. There it goes. And push it down kind of as tight as it'll go, so that that's nice and taut. And then we're gonna tighten it back up a bit until it's not gonna go anywhere. Shazam. So now we have a nice taut screen to do our slow stitching onto. And so I think the inspiration here is to make yourself a little house, a slow stitched house. So I'm going to pick some fabric that I think would work really well. And I've sort of done a little bit of pre-planning here before I started filming. So this square is going to be a decent size for my house, and this triangle will be its roof. But I think I want to cut that down a little bit. So I do have my trusty scissors. And I'm going to just trim my square up a smidge because it's taking up all of my space on my little canvas here. And I do want it to be pretty. And then I decided already that this is going to be the chimney, but I'm going to again cut this little piece of ribbon down so it's not a huge chimney. There's my house. There's its chimney. Like it, like it. And then I think maybe I will put this as the bottom part of my house, because why not? And there it is. And then
I can, if I want to, cut out windows and doors from this other fabric, although I may not want to do that because we are pressed for time. If you were interested in doing so, you could make yourself a cute little garden, which I might actually be interested in doing. But you know, the world's your oyster. This is your house. So if you wanted to have a little garden back there, you could put it back there if you wanted to. But in interests of time, we're just going to do it really simply. So I think mine would look pretty with red floss. I'm not completely sure the colors of all the flosses in your kits, but they should all be complementary to each other. And I'm only going to use red floss, I think, so I don't have to thread the needle more than once. All right, here we go. Ah, did you see that? I got it the very first time. Wonderful. So I think, so that I don't get tangled, I'll pull that way up. And I'm going to put my house kind of, I like off center. You do not have to like off center, but I do. So here we go. And you can use whatever kind of stitches you want to. But like I said last week, I've just learned how to backstitch. So that's probably what I'm going to do. Give myself a nice continuous line. One of my coworkers does a lot of garment restoring. She told me that back stitching is one of the strongest stitches, which I think is pretty neat. I did not know that. I'm learning just along with you all, of course, like always. So, like I always say, just bear with me. You guys are probably better at this than me. And if you're not, I'm sorry, because I'm not real good. But I do my best. And I like to learn new stuff and I like to challenge myself. And that's exactly what I do every time I have a stitching video. You guys who know me should be proud of me. And those of you who have not yet met me in real life, well, be proud of me. Here we go. So I'm just back stitching that line. Put my house on and turn it this way. I'm not going to batch stitch too far up on my square because I got to put my roof on. I got to remember, roofs are going on. So as we keep going here, just go around and back stitch everything in. My husband even laughs at me. He's a better sewer than I am. Honestly, I have yet to find something that I am better at than he is when it comes to doing types of things. He's actually a very crafty kind of guy. Here we go, turn the corner again. Ow, I just poked the bejeebus out of myself right there. The trials of a makerspace librarian. So many pokes, so little time. All right, here we go. We're almost done stitching on the body of the house. So I'm hoping that you guys can see, if you're not familiar with back stitching, how I'm doing it. And you can always add things like chain stitching if that's something that you like, or my thing I've recently learned, which is, of course, French knots. All of those are totally possible here. But the idea, of course, is to take your time. So the thought behind slow stitching is that it's kind of a meditative practice, right? You're taking your time, you're embellishing something, you're making it personal, making it your own, which as I think about it, I really like. Of course, I'm a handcrafter of long standing, but I'm a knitter. And I feel the same way about when I knit. It's sort of that repetitive motion that makes your brain kind of go into a delta wave state, which is what meditation does to your brain, believe it or not. Make a big stitch here because I've already been doing this for a while for you guys. I got a little crooked, but that's okay. So there we go. That is on. There's my house. And I'm going to go ahead and put my, oops, my bee is stuck. There it is. My roof on. I'm going to tie my yarn off down here and then start again up on the roof. So that's what the back of it looks like, and back stitching, it makes its own little line, which is kind of cute. Okay, here we go. Let's make the house roof. Alrighty. And so this isn't felt. This is cotton, muslin type cotton. So it's going to respond a little bit differently than the felt does. And it's going to probably, as you display it and as you work with it, it's going to fray. That's okay. I think it adds to the charm. So, part of the fun here would be planning out what you want the rest of your house to look like. Don't pull too tight like I did because it just made it pucker. There we go. I like to think about when I'm drawing or when I'm doing types like this. I like to make up little stories in my head about who lives in this tiny house. Maybe it's a really tiny house and a fairy lives in it. I don't know. It's kind of silly, but that's what I like to do. Because then when I display it, I can tell people, oh, it's my little tiny fairy house. I also do have a fairy garden, so that's fun. And here we go. Sometimes when I move this, I move it off the camera, and I always do apologize for that. And so I'm actually just going to finish making the house, and I think you guys have got the idea of what it ought to look like. As I'm stitching it on there, keep getting it caught on the winchy thing there. Here we go, almost done. So as you plan it out, make sure you keep planning out your ideas there. Okay, we're almost done here. And then I'm going to leave you with this much finished, and I'll let you guys finish it on your own. But I hope this gives you a good idea of what the project is going to look like. I could sit here and quietly stitch forever, but I'm not going to, because that does not make for interesting viewing, does it? So here we go. And here we are. All right, so there we go. Stitched in. There's the house. I'll try to finish that and maybe get a finished picture up for you guys. But I know that you can go from there, be incredibly creative. I would love to see some finished products. And then again, until I can see you again, stay safe, stay healthy, and keep making. Bye, guys.
So I hope that you were able to see what I was doing most of the time. I have a weird filming setup, so sometimes I'm able to get everything really nicely put in the center of the camera, and sometimes I don't do that very well. And I think that this particular time I was not paying as good attention as to where my camera placing was. But I do want to let you know that I finished the project. Woo! I just didn't want to film the whole thing of me sewing and it being kind of boring. So I have it, and it looks like this. Let's see here. Can you see it? Oh, it's always left and rights here are hard for me, but here is my finished project. I cut out the flowers from my little piece of calico, and I put them onto my screen with some French knots, and then I made the lace here into my fence, and I made a little chimney, and I have a door. And so I'm actually surprisingly thrilled with how this turned out. I used my little pinking shears I have to cut the edges, and I suppose I could hang this up on a wall somewhere in my house and not be sad about it. I think it's very cute. Thanks again to Collective Pueblo for getting those kits out for us, for you guys. Next week we'll have Sizzlin' Stampers and their monthly program with us. And then I think the next week after that, we're taking a break and back at it in March. So thanks again for coming and visiting with me every week. I really enjoy seeing you guys, even if it's virtually. And hopefully soon we'll be able to see each other in person, but still no word on that yet. All right, guys. Until I get to see you again, stay safe, stay healthy, and keep making, and stay warm. Holy cow, it's cold. All right, guys. Have a great night, okay? Bye.